we're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive.
I don't think anybody in my circle understands it.
Yeah. I'm back, y'all. I know some of y'all thought I wasn't gonna be back. I'm back. This is 2 streams in 1 week. We just hit a record. Y'all are literally a part of history right now. AHA history. 2 streams in 1 week from me. I'm just doing 2 streams, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a record. Why are we doing 2 streams in 1 week? Because the month of December, I decided that it would be a good idea to do a fast and bring you all along on the journey. So if you missed the first stream, I would encourage you after this stream to go check out the first stream so you can kind of get fully caught up on what we got going on. But to quickly recap, right now, today, I am on day 5 of my prep for my fast. Okay, so I started on December 1st with the prep. As I always say, whenever you're going to do a fast, you always want to start with the prep. So we're doing 7 days of prep. On day 8, I'll be starting my fast. So that'll be the 8th of December. All the numbers, keep all the numbers real simple. And the goal is to do at least 10 days of fasting. However, I may be prompted to do more fasting if you guys are showing support and you definitely look like you're enjoying this this particular, I don't even know what you call this particular episode of AHA, this season, this fasting season. All right, so today I want to make sure to give you guys an opportunity to be able to like ask questions and things of that nature. So for those who are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, you could throw a super chat in there. I will be answering all super chats. So any questions that you guys have that you specifically want to have answers to tonight, throw it in the super chat and I got you. What is going on, everybody? Good to see you. Let's see here. It's weird. Sometimes I get a signal. Sometimes it tells me I'm getting a signal. Hopefully you guys can hear me and everything. If you couldn't hear me by now, I hope you would have told me. But I always like to ask because, you know, we've had issues with technology over here the past couple years. All right, so today, like I mentioned, I'm on day 5 of my prep. So I want to quickly recap what I did on day 3, 4, and 5. And then I'll also kind of tell you what I'll be doing for the next couple of days, day 6 and day 7. And then, of course, I'll probably be streaming again on day 8 when I start the fast, just to give you guys a little insight on how my first day went. The topic for today's stream is going to be how much weight can you realistically lose. So we're going to touch on that as well as we get more into this stream today. And oh yeah, I almost forgot in my opening statements. Some of you all are going to want to know this right now. The R72 program is now available for registration. Okay, so on my last stream, I'll let you guys know if you wanted to be alerted. Make sure to drop your email in our registration link, which we had over 1,000 people register. So clearly the R72 challenge is about to be crazy. We've never had that many people pre-register in that short period of time. So y'all are definitely speaking to me right now. Y'all are definitely looking to get into this R72. It's going to be fire. Okay. The R72 program is going to be one of the most seamless fasting programs that you've ever done. You're going to see some of the most impactful weight loss Specifically, we're focused on weight loss for this particular challenge. And you guys are going to, if you've never done one of our challenges, you're going to really enjoy the community and everything that we have laid out for you. It's phenomenal. Okay. So I'm looking forward to work with you all. I'm going to be putting this link in the chat right now. So if you did not already register to get an email from us, you could push this link right here. This link is going to take you right to the challenge. You can sign up today. Now, before you guys sign up, I want you to know that we put together some sample kits of the Root Trinity, package. All right. So we did the Root Trinity packet, and Stephen put together some liver cleanse herbs specifically for participants of the R72 challenge. So I want you guys to be aware of that. I want you to know that they are in limited quantity. It is an addition. You have to add it to your registration or your purchase when you actually join the challenge. It doesn't automatically come with it. You have to add it. However, for those of you who are getting this information early, I would highly suggest you get it. And with the R72 challenge, we are offering you guys what we call the quick start guide. Okay. So the quick start guide couples really well with the Root kit, but you don't have to use it specifically for the quick start guide, but it just couples really well. And basically what the quick start guide, what it's designed to do is help you quickly lose 5 pounds over the span of 1 week. All right. So the challenge is going to be starting in January. And obviously we're starting registration now. We wanted to give you guys something of value to kickstart your challenge before we get into the new year. So the quick start guide is going to be available along with your purchase. Okay, that comes with it. I'm just saying, if you pair it with the Root kit, we did a nice little sample kit, made it very affordable for you guys, so you could try out these products because they're really, really amazing. And I know once you use them, you will see the value of them as well. So link is in there. You guys can join now, and it's going to be absolute fire. Okay, you can learn all the information about the actual challenge on the page, and we have a video, introductory video, where you can go and you can listen to, you can learn about the challenge and everything. But if anybody's been in any of our other challenges, you already know what it is. You know the presentation, the quality, the engagement. You know the energy that you get when you join one of these groups. One of the benefits of joining the challenge is you get to be a part of one of our secret groups on our community, AHA Communities website. And on top of that, as an added bonus, for those who are joining the R72 challenge, this is completely exclusive to this challenge right now. You guys are going to be getting a free digital copy of Almost Alkaline. That is AHA's first cookbook. Okay. It's called Almost Alkaline. And anybody who joins the challenge right now is going to be getting a copy of that cookbook. I know y'all have been waiting for that cookbook for a long time. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put the cookbook for free in the challenge. So yeah, grab the challenge, because you can get the cookbook for free. Okay. All right. Now that we got all that out of the way, what are we currently doing? So my current weight for today is 215 pounds, 0.4 ounces. I want you guys to know that I'm 6'6". A lot of you guys don't know that. People, whenever I meet people out in person, they'll be like, "Man, Chris, you're a lot taller than I ever would have imagined." We were recently at a vegan festival here in Dallas, and we met one of you all from Maryland or Boston. I don't remember, somewhere out there. Um, yeah, you were just talking about how you thought we were so much tall. We were so much taller. We're all tall, but I'm 6'6", okay, and I'm currently 215 pounds. So you guys are going to get some weight updates, once we start fasting and everything like that. But I just wanted to, kind of get the ball rolling. Fast starts on December 8th. If you want to kind of do this with me, all right, because I got a message in AHA Communities in my inbox, and someone was asking, what can I do to kind of get started? How can I get started with you? If you guys want to follow along and do this December fast with me, I'm projected to do 10 days. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is I really recommend that you do your prep first. Even if today is the first day that you're seeing this, you're like, oh, Chris is fasting, I want to fast with him. I will recommend starting the prep. Okay. You can grab the prep guide from a healthyalternative.org. Okay. You just go to a healthyalternative.org and you can get the prep guide. It's going to be there's going to be a pop-up and it's going to say 7-day prep guide. And all you got to do is put your email in and you get the prep guide. So do the prep guide first. Then just catch up with me and rock out with me for as long as, as I'm doing it and as long as you want to. That's how I would recommend that. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be starting on my juice. So part of the prep is we basically do 5 days of eating and it's we're slowly but surely changing how we eat. Okay. And we talked about this in the first live. So make sure to watch that first live if you want to have more details on the first couple of days. But basically, we're going to be going from eating like a standard American diet to doing juice. So tomorrow we're going to be doing the juice, and I'm going to be doing sweet juice, okay? And I'll also be doing green juice. So I'm going to start the green juice on what is today? On the 7th day, whatever that day is, Wednesday or whatever it is. I'll be doing the green juice. Now, before I get into like more of the details of why we're doing the juice, I'm gonna backtrack and I'm gonna talk about what I did on day 3, 4, and then 5. So on day 3, I didn't eat. We already talked about it. We're not eating breakfast. So I didn't eat breakfast at all. I just had water throughout the day and I had some tea. I did eat later on in the evening and I had some mushrooms. I had mushrooms. It was like marinated mushrooms with onions and a sweet potato soup. It was absolutely delicious. Okay, so these are some good options for you guys as you're transitioning away from like your standard diet and the foods you're eating. It like I obviously recommend that you guys do the healthy food and stuff like that. You don't want to be doing, McDonald's and stuff. Even though you're changing the frequency of how you eat, you still don't want to be doing crazy stuff, McDonald's and stuff like that. So I would recommend that you change the types of foods that you're eating along with the frequency. So this is just what I had on that day. On the next day, I had a tomato sandwich. And it's funny because I was talking to my friend Mel, Coach Mel, Animated Mel. We were talking about like tomato sandwiches and stuff. And he was like, bro, I never had a tomato sandwich. I'm like, you was never poured in. How you never have a tomato sandwich? Because when you ain't got no money, y'all just get mayonnaise. You get some mayonnaise or some Miracle Whip and you make a sandwich out of bread and Miracle Whip. But we was pretty uppity with it. We used to put tomato on it. And so basically I toasted some spelt bread. I did a vegan spread on it. And then I did that's like seasoned salt, but it's homemade. So I did sea salt, I did turmeric, I did smoked paprika, I did cayenne, and then I sprinkled that on there and I had that, right? And that was very, very delicious. And also I believe I had a salad that day as well. And then yesterday I did a salad and I did some vegetable spaghetti and I did a salad yesterday as well. So just so you guys can understand like what I'm eating and just kind of get an idea of how to approach this, remember, you still want to be drinking your gallon of water or as close to a gallon as is comfortable, with the goal being getting to a gallon. If drinking a gallon is super unrealistic for you just because of your capacity, add a small sprinkle of chia seeds or something like that to your water so that you can, get more hydration out of your water. Okay. We talked about this in the last stream more in depth. So please, make sure to go back and check that out. But, adding chia seeds or, some cucumber slices or some lime slices or whatever to your water so you get better hydration out of it. That'll help if you're just not convinced that you're going to be able to do the gallon of water a day or do it consistently. All right. So, what I'm gonna say is as we move into the next phase, all right. So we're gonna be going into the juice tomorrow. Now, I like to promote juice feasting. All right, juice feasting. I believe the Dr. John Rose, I believe is his name. He teaches juice feasting, and I find it to be very beneficial. It's a great technique to use in preparation for the fast. And basically, what it is, you take your daily caloric intake, right? So whatever that might be, 1,500 calories, 2,000 calories, whatever it is, and you basically get your daily caloric intake, but you get it in juice instead of like eating it. You're basically getting yourself off of solid food. You're going to be taking in an enormous amount of juice. So this is usually going to be anywhere from half a gallon to a gallon of juice that you're going to be doing on these juice feasting days. And when you do it like this, you essentially don't have to deal with hunger pangs. It makes transitioning to water fasting much more seamless because you're getting off of the actual, solid food. You're giving your body an opportunity to shift gears. So this is a critical step, and you don't have to do the juice feasting on this day if you don't want to. I like to do it, and I encourage people to do it for a couple different reasons. Mainly the first one, just it's an easier gradient, okay, to get to doing pure water. But also, when you do juice feasting, especially if you do it the way that I do it, which is you're going to be concentrating on acidic and subacidic fruit juice, the acidity from the fruit juice starts to get into your intestinal tract, and it starts to break down that plaque, that mucus, and that synthetic material that is currently lining your intestines and possibly part of your bowels, right? So over time, we're eating all this synthetic stuff. We pretty much are eating plastic foods. And over time, what ends up happening is these foods coat the lining of your intestine. And when you go to fast, because you're for the first time in probably a long time, you're not eating all day, the body starts to rehydrate that material, and it will start to leach into your bloodstream, and it'll make you feel ill. So this is one of the reasons why when people do fasting, the first 3 days are difficult. We talked about some of the things you guys could do to mitigate detox symptoms on the first live stream. This is further going in depth on why we teach the prep the way we do. So what we can do is get ahead of that work that the body's going to do anyway. And we could use the juice. The acid from the juice will actually start to break down that lining, and you will start releasing that stuff before you even start fasting. Now, clearly, it's 2 days. This is not an elaborate prep. We could push it longer. We could do things differently to give you guys a more seamless transition. But I find that a week is good. Most people want to get into fasting now. So telling them they got to wait 2 weeks before they fast, they usually don't want to hear that. I do my best to make all my information as relatable as possible to the general, populace that listens. So my goal with juice feasting is, apple juice, orange juice, maybe pineapple or grape. These are usually the ones that I will use. You could do lemon juice. I mean, you guys can have fun with it. You can blend juices. You can have a lot of fun with it, but I would recommend the acidic and subacidic fruit juice. You don't have to do that. You don't have to, right? If you're nervous about the subacidic fruit juice, maybe you think it's too sweet, or if you have a harsh reaction to, the acid, don't force yourself to do it. Okay. One good rule of thumb for this entire process: make sure that you all are paying attention to your body. If I'm telling you one thing and your body is telling you the other thing, your body supersedes me. And the reason why is because this isn't a one-on-one consultation. All right. So when I give general information, it's just that, it's general. Sometimes people have specific things going on where it might not be good for them to take in the acidic fruit juice. So you have to keep that in mind and play an active role in this wellness journey. I always say that. So we're going to do the juice for day 6 and day 7. Now, on day 7, we're going to be doing green juice. All right. Green juice on day 7. And typically, what I recommend is you do a minimum of 12 hours of green juice. Now, that doesn't mean you have to drink green juice every hour on the hour for 12 hours. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the last 12 hours of that day, right? So we'll just say from noon to midnight. The only thing that you will consume is water and green juice. You will not have any more sweet juice. You want low glycemic juice. And the reason for that is because the first 12 to 16 hours of a fast, the body dumps sugar like recklessly. Okay. And if you have a ton of sugar in your system, it makes the transition going from, eating or even juicing to water, it makes it a little bit less palatable. So, the goal here is to give you guys a seamless transition from what you're currently doing to the next step, which is water fasting. So we're going to be doing green juice for at least the last 12 hours of the day. You could do it for the entire day if you want. You could also do green juice for both days if you want. All right. So that's up to you guys. Pay attention to your body. Make sure that you're still drinking your water. Just do your best to do both. Okay. Now, one of the questions that I got, everybody, just hold on real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Can y'all hear me? My little equipment just fell over. Sorry, y'all. I have I don't know, it's an ism. I'm gonna say it's an ism. Let me know. Make sure y'all can hear me and everything. Let's check this. Yes, okay. I have an ism. I'm gonna tell y'all about this. It's kind of what makes me great, but it also like it is what it is. I cannot stand when things don't work properly, especially when it comes to technology. Um, and I had everything set up, but the focus on my camera wasn't working because it was in manual mode, and it was just bothering me. I had to fix it anyway. All right, so let's get back into this. Um, Also, by the way, super chats. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you want to make sure that I answer your question at the end of my monologue, make sure to do a super chat, and I'll definitely grab that question if you guys do a super chat. I'm gonna do my best to grab the questions in the chat, but I just want to start building a certain culture because, like, as I start fasting and stuff, I'm probably not going to do these lives as long, and in order to be very concise, we're gonna use some of the tools that are available to us. But the you wanna start doing the green juice. Now, if you want to, you could do 2 days of green juice if you want to. All right. And you could do anywhere from, like I said, half a gallon to a gallon of juice if you want to. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do all of that juice or whatever, and then make sure that you understand we're talking about fresh squeezed juice. Okay, we're not talking about simply lemonade, Tropicana, nothing like that. We're talking about you go get an orange, you squeeze it, or you can buy it. You can buy it from the store where they've squeezed it freshly at the store. Um, you can, if you guys want to approach it by just doing a small amount of juice and doing water, that's okay as well. Back in the day, I would do like 3 servings of 12 to 16 ounces of juice a day. And so that's how I used to do it back in the day. But I like the juice feasting. I like the juice feasting better for you guys. Definitely. It's going to help move the bowels. One other thing that I've been doing in preparation for this particular fast, and I've been talking about this. Um, we've got these products are called Restore. Okay, this is called Restore, and it is from the Root Wellness brand. So y'all have been following us. We've been talking about our affiliation with the Root Wellness brand for about a year now, and I've been using these products for a while now. Restore, if you guys, I don't know if you guys heard. Well, I don't know when she would have talked about it. It might have been in the R7 or in the 21-day challenge videos, but One of our coaches was dealing with like irritation, vaginal irritation, and we weren't able to figure out like how to permanently get rid of it. Right? I was suggesting things, and things were getting better, definitely getting better, but it was still lingering. She started taking this Restore, the 2 sachets of Restore each day, and within a couple of weeks, her irritation cleared up like completely. It's gone forever. So that was a huge thing. Restore helps with like gut health. It helps with, you know, uh, opening up your elimination pathways. So one of the reasons why I've been using it is because what makes fasting challenging for a lot of people are detox symptoms. So in preparation, we're doing we're doing the 7-day prep, and everything is designed to mitigate detox symptoms, and this just further aids. But one of the reasons why I want you guys to do the juice is because we want to make sure that our elimination pathways are clear, right? Because if you start fasting and your elimination pathways are blocked or they're severely blocked, it's going to make the detox symptoms that much worse. So I've been using the Restore as a way to open up and clear my elimination pathways in addition to everything else I'm doing. This is just an add-on, and it's not something that's 100% required. But like as I've been doing this work for so long, people the information I'm giving you all today is information I've been giving you for years, honestly. People always want more, or they always want an alternative. And since we're a healthy alternative, I said, okay, I'm gonna be more open up to giving people different alternatives. Because before, if y'all remember my content from years ago, I was very strict. I didn't like giving a lot of different alternatives because I felt like if you give an inch, people are gonna take a mile. You know what I mean? In my wisdom and my elder years, I've learned, you'll help more people just giving people different alternatives. So that's one of the things I'm also doing. And I'll take two. I usually take two at a time. It just depends. You could take as little as a third of the sachet up to 1 sachet at a time. That's like their basic recommendation, but I take two. And what I've noticed is it'll usually give me a bowel movement after I take it, and also it'll keep me very, very regular throughout the day. So I'm experimenting with it as far as fasting because usually when I take it, I'm eating. So it'll be cool to kind of see how it's gonna progress. So that's one of the things that I've been doing as well. So after day 7, literally you could just say, day 7 at 11:59, I will not be putting any more juice or any type of food in my mouth, and then we'll be on day 8, and I'll be starting the fast. I'll essentially be starting it at midnight or whatever, just to keep everything, keep all the times very easy to understand. And we'll be doing 10 days, so we'll be going to the 18th, and then what I was telling you guys in the last stream is if you want to donate, okay, I usually don't take donations. I usually don't um, uh, ask for donations. But if you guys want to donate, I'm going to put the link for the donation. We got Cash App and we have PayPal. And if you guys want to donate, depending on the level of donations I get and the interactions I get on this video, I'll extend my fast and I'll go for up to 30 days. So we'll do 10, it'll go 10 to 30 days. Just depends. And let's see what else. Okay. So I had got a question. All right. So make sure to get y'all's questions ready because we're gonna start getting into the questions soon. But I got a question earlier today, I believe it was, and I was asked if I could provide like some tips and some motivation for getting started with the fasting and kind of doing this regimen. And I was thinking about that because I often get asked for like I often get asked, we talk about motivation. We talk about tips. Chris, what's a tip? How can I be motivated? People use this word a lot, motivation. And I was thinking about tips. How can I give you guys a tip that will genuinely help you? And I realized that a lot of people chase after motivation. Like when you think about motivation, I look at motivation almost like it's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's love or it's hate or it's sadness or whatever. And we know that feelings are fleeting. So that's the comparison I'm making. Motivation is not sustainable. I don't know if y'all know that. Like I don't know cuz I think that there's a perception about people who are successful. When you look at highly successful people, I think there's a misconception that they have some secret ability to stay motivated, and it's just not true. If you actually talk to any uh, moderately successful person, you will find that motivation is never the key to their success. Never. It's never. You can get temporary success out of motivation. Motivation can be a spark. It's like a spark plug for sure. But as far as like carrying you the distance, it's never going to be motivation. I want y'all to really pay attention to that because if you're looking for motivation, you're not going to be able to get to your outcomes because you're seeking the wrong thing. And so I started thinking, like when I look at like what I've achieved and how I've done it, or what Steve's been able to achieve and how he's done it, it's not motivation. It's a level of it's regiment. It's regiment. That's really what it is. You know, it's regiment. It's having an organized, strict system or pattern. It's there's a system that's usually used to help you. And if you look at my content as it's evolved over the years, you will see that what my goal is to give to you all are systems. Even if you look at the 7-day prep, the 7-day prep is not motivation. It's not videos. It's not inspirational quotes. It's not affirmations. It's a regimen. It's a system and it's methodical, right? And the way it was developed was through trial and error, personal experimentation, as well as duplication through, many, many other people. And with that feedback, I refined that system. And what you're getting today is the most optimized version of that, right? But if you guys learn systems and you start plugging these systems into your lifestyle, you'll start seeing better outcomes more consistently, and you won't be constantly looking for motivation. Because, like, let's be honest, if motivation was able to really get you to your outcome, if it was sustainable, if it gave you longevity, I, I mean, I wouldn't really be needed, like, because the information is pretty straightforward. Like, you get the good information. You see Steve's video. You know what I mean? Like, we really could have stopped with Steve's original video where me and Steve, we were sitting in the kitchen. At the time, he had maybe lost 142 pounds or whatever it was, 170 pounds. And we were talking about his journey. We got hundreds. No. We've gotten thousands of messages and comments about that video. Thousands, easily. Right? People are motivated. We see the biggest influx of people joining the Facebook group, joining the AHA Fasting Academy. All right. You could join the academy at wellnessacademy.com, by the way. wellnessacademy.com. Okay. We saw the biggest influx. So that was the motivation. People saw that video. They got motivated. They're like, man, this dude lost almost 200 pounds in 8 months, whatever it was at the time. Reverse diabetes, reverse liver damage. The list goes on and on. If you haven't seen that video, you got to watch it. That is motivation. But yet, why is it that after we motivated all those people, they're in the groups, they're in the programs, they're still struggling? And they're looking for more motivation. It's almost like getting a hit of cocaine. It's like, you get a hit, you feel good. Ooh. And then you start coming down, and then life starts happening and stress starts happening. And you got to get another hit. You got to get another hit. That's like motivation. That's how I look at it. And I know we normally look at motivation as a good thing. Motivation has a positive connotation. People are like, yo, that's motivating. It's a good thing. But it's not what's going to help you get across that finish line. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about regimen. The actual prep is a regimen. Now, There's other things that we teach. You know what I'm saying? For those who have been in the 70 I keep wanting to say 72-hour challenge because that's the new challenge. But for those who have been in the 21-day challenge, we teach these systems, we teach these regimens. There's tools. I wanted one tool that I wanted to bring to y'all's attention because a lot of people, they don't understand the value of this tool. Maybe about it might have been 2018. Yeah. 2017, 2018, I created a fasting journal. Okay. This is the AHA fasting journal. And it's evolved. It's evolved. The first journal was much different and it's just gotten better. But the reason why that was the first tool I ever developed for this community was because I learned the benefit of writing things down. And what I started to notice when I started writing things down, there was this innate desire to want to create timelines and structure and steps and processes. And and I'm a man, right? So this might just be my logical brain. I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, Women, let me know. I don't know. But this was my natural inclination to start writing things down. I didn't at the time fully realize the power of writing things down. It wasn't until I looked in retrospect and I saw how I was nailing all of my outcomes and how I was beating my timelines that I realized the power of what I had actually done. So that's the reason why I developed the journal, being able to track your weight. Okay, so we talk about regimen. What's one of the basic things we do, right? We weigh ourselves. And you can have a day and a time that you weigh yourself. You know, when I work with clients, sometimes they'll ask me, Chris, what's the best time to weigh myself? I said, well, there's an optimal time if you want the numbers to look good. But the reality is you just want to weigh yourself at the same time every day, right? Like whether it's, noon on Monday or noon on Thursday, you just want to weigh yourself at the same time every day. And that'll help keep everything consistent, right? When you're weighing yourself. But that's part of your system, right? It's something that you need to do to help keep yourself accountable. I was listening to Cole maybe last year because people kept telling me that I was stealing his material. As a matter of fact, this is a fun fact. When I last year when I very first started talking about the R72 program, people were like, "Yo, you stole that from Cole," and I'm like, "I've never watched his content. It's impossible." I think it just speaks to our understanding of the body. There's a reason why we both talk about a 3-day fast. There's a reason why we both talk about dry fasting, right? And when you listen to people who actually fast in real life, they're not reading books, they actually do it, they have experience, you'll find that we say the same things because the body is very logical in how it interacts with us, right? So that's neither here nor there. But one of the things he said, he was like, I tell people to weigh themselves every single day. And the reason why is because it's accountability. So whether you're fasting, whether you're prepping, or even if you're off of your fast, he's like, you need to be weighing yourself every single day. Monitor your weight, right? Because as soon as you stop engaging, that's when the weight starts slipping away. Because it's not the fact that y'all have the tools. You have the tools. We've been teaching you the tools. We've got so many tools. It's really about your use of those tools. You got to use them. And so basically by staying engaged with the process, it serves as a level of accountability. It's actually it's a pretty good sentiment, I think. Everybody's a little different. If I'm working with somebody individually and I know that their weight is traumatic for them and it causes them to have certain thoughts and it can derail them, then I will tell them, no, don't weigh yourself, right? We'll use a different metric. But either way it goes, whether it's weight or a different metric like taking your inches, you still need to be engaging on a regular basis or take pictures or monitor how your body is reacting to the clothes that you're wearing. That's a great way to tell if you're losing weight because ultimately, the goal here isn't actually like weight loss. I know that's what we talk about, but the goal is actually how your body looks. It's it's your physique. That's what people are more or less interested in, and it really goes for either area of the spectrum. Whether you want to gain weight or whether you want to lose weight, it's not about the weight. Because if you gain it the wrong way, if you lose it the wrong way, it doesn't give you the physique you want. It's all about the physique. And so by measuring your inches, it gives you a better idea, or looking at how you fit in clothes, it gives you a better idea of the body's composition and your physique, which is really, really what it is we're interested in. Because, it would be optimal to just be very light but look very muscular, or look very toned, and just kind of have the body that you want, but still be light, because that's better on your joints and all of that stuff. So that would actually be more optimal. You don't want to be 200 pounds unless you're a sumo wrestler or a wrestler or a basketball player or a professional athlete. Then the extra weight helps. But if you're not a professional athlete or a martial artist of any kind, then you don't want all the extra weight on your body. But I digress. So the point is, you want to build a regimen. Now, for those who are interested in grabbing one of these journals, okay, because I know I didn't even tell y'all where to get them. They're on the website at healthyalternative.org. Okay, you just go to the shop on healthyalternative.org. And also, you can find them on the Wellness Academy. So ahawellnessacademy.com. You go to the shop and you can find them in there as well. And you use whatever you want. It's important for you guys to be writing this stuff down, tracking it. So motivation is not the key. You want a tip? The tip is build a regimen. And we have them. We have systems for you guys. The goal here is to almost have a healthy obsession over your system. Find a system that works for you and develop a healthy obsession over that system. Understand that your system is like a prescription, right? You're prescribing yourself this system, this regimen, and you're going to do XYZ to get a certain outcome. It's not something that you're going to be necessarily utilizing for the rest of your life, but this more strict regimen that you're going to be doing to get to your goals, whether it's losing 40 pounds or 100 pounds or reversing some disease, you're going to use it to get to your outcome. And then once you do that, you need to understand that, okay, now we need to shift. We need to shift gears, because there's a maintenance package now that we have to kind of develop, and that'll be a different system. But for right now, when y'all are in the mud and you're looking to see some good results, build a system. And so this goes back to the R72, the challenge, and what it is we're doing. So one of the questions somebody asked, what is the R72? The R72 is a rolling 72-hour fast, okay? So it's basically a fasting cycle. Now, we've been talking about fasting cycles on AHA almost since the beginning, because one of the very first fasting cycles we developed was the 5-2, which was 5 days of fasting, 2 days of eating. My brother Jonathan created that for himself, essentially, to help him reverse his diabetes and lose 60 pounds he lost 50 pounds in 6 weeks using that regimen. So we knew how powerful these rolling fasts were. We just didn't have them completely honed. So now, fast forward, 6-7 years, we've honed them. And the R72 is the culmination of all of that research and feedback and everything that we've gotten. And so we're really excited and also there's a mental barrier that people experience when the goal is to do a 10-day fast or a 2-week fast or a 21-day fast or a 30-day fast or a 40-day fast. There's a mental hurdle that you have to get over. With the R72, it's not really there. Unless you're completely new to fasting, you've never done a day of fasting or even an intermittent fast, unless it's a completely new concept, the hurdle to get over an R72 is fairly easy. And then, of course, we talked about earlier, the goal of the prepping is to make that transition easier. So I'm really excited to work with you guys on the R72. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. I know it's been a while since I put a link in there for that. So for those who are joining, if you guys want to join the R72 challenge, we're actually open for registration right now today. Like I mentioned earlier, not only are you going to get all of the content that you get with the R72 challenge, not only are you going to have the opportunity to get a test kit or a sample kit of the Trinity pack from the Root Wellness brand, which includes Restore, but you're also going to get a free digital copy of Almost Alkaline, which is our cookbook, AHA's cookbook that y'all have been asking for the past 5 years. I deliver, baby. Look, I may not come when you want me, but I'm always on time. Okay, it's Christmas time. It's the season of giving, and I've decided to gift you all for joining the R72 challenge. Gift you all a copy of the book. No one else is going to be able to get it as of right now. No one else can get it. Everybody else, they're not even going to be able to access the book until the new year. So this is just something special that I wanted to do for you all. All right. How much weight can you realistically lose? This is a question that I get when I start doing when I start doing fasting. And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I got this a lot. All right. And the easy answer is your body is going to be the ultimate judge of how much weight you can lose. However, there is no such thing as being big boned. Okay. So that means that we all have the ability to get slim and trim if we want. Everybody doesn't want to get slim and trim, but if you want to, you have the physiology is there. You can do it. So, there's different ways of measuring body, your body weight and stuff like that. People always want to get into debates about, BMI and all that stuff. I don't even like going there. I say let your body decide how much weight you're ultimately going to lose. And the way that you do it is by changing lifestyle. Once you have altered your lifestyle, your body will naturally move. It will move to a weight that it likes to be. Now, in order for you to optimize this and lose the maximum amount of weight, your lifestyle has to be intentional. You want to do some detoxing, some intentional detoxing. You want to get that excess 10 or 20 pounds of fecal matter that's stuck in your intestinal tract. You want to get that out. That's important. You want to, do liver and gallbladder flushes. You want to do fasting. You want to do juice cleanses and things of that nature. You want to be regimented so that you can bring you're basically improving your immune system. That's essentially what we're doing here, right? Because the body is self-regulating. It comes with all the tools that you need to maintain. So if you are out of alignment physically, mentally, or spiritually, it's because your equipment is not tuned properly. It's not working well. So the detoxing, the fasting, and everything we teach, the dietary strategy is only designed to tune the body so that it can do that work for you. So the body's going to decide, but there's what I would say is this. I'm gonna tell y'all this because I don't talk about this too often. But when I did my last 30-day fast, I got down to 145 pounds. Okay. So I'm 215 pounds now. So you can imagine maybe what I would look like at 145. Actually, if you go and look at my old videos from 2009, if you look at videos in 2019, I mean, I'm not going to be 145 pounds, but I'm going to be very close. I'm going to be like 160, somewhere around there, 170. And you can see how small that is. Because I don't think I actually did any videos while I was 245 pounds. But I got down to 245 pounds, or I'm sorry, 145 pounds. I've been saying too. I got down to 145 pounds and I was functioning normally. I was going to work. I was doing everything. I looked like a leaf blowing in the wind, don't get me wrong, but I was functioning. So you can lose an enormous amount of weight. You really can. The body is a interesting thing. With that being said, I don't have any intention of ever going back down that route. So y'all don't got to worry about that. I'll stop my fast before I get to 145 pounds. Don't worry. But I just wanted to keep it real with y'all because, people ask these questions. And if we're not going to be honest about the answers, and, then it's not going to be beneficial. So you could probably lose 100 pounds. Most people that I work with, most people in our group can lose 100 pounds. That's why you see so many interviews where people are losing 100 pounds because, we've really let ourselves go. And also, we're being attacked. So it's not even just personal decisions. I mean, that's ultimately going to be our responsibility. But there are systems and businesses and institutions in place that are working against us. So I do want to recognize that. All right, let's get into some of these questions. Once again, if you guys want me to make sure to get your question, hop on YouTube, do a super chat. I'm gonna hit all the super chats tonight. And if for some reason I don't get your super chat because just something crazy is going on, uh, message me and I'll do something special for y'all to make sure that you get your super chat answer because I like to be a man of my word. All right. So, is there a point where the body can reject of water fasting? I was doing 4 days and I didn't lose any weight. That's not that question. 4 days for you, that might be a long fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on your experience with fasting, I wouldn't even worry about doing a 4-day fast and not losing weight. I've just seen so much. I've seen so much. Um, but but to answer your question as honestly as possible, yeah, yeah, the body can reject fasting. Yes, it can. It's very rare. It's very rare. Okay, so uh, I don't talk about it. It's so rare, and I don't want people jumping to conclusions because there's so many other steps we could take before we go to that conclusion. But yes, if you have severe energetic or emotional trauma, you can fast and not lose weight. That definitely does happen. We've seen it. You know what I mean? I've worked with enough people. My brother John dealt with it actually. So actually, this is actually a really good question because um, soon I'm going to be doing a follow up video with my brother John, and that's one of the things we're going to be talking about because uh, it's important. It's an important topic to touch on. For those who do experience it, they need to know this information. And so we're gonna touch on that in depth with Jonathan because he experienced it. And so we're gonna get some first. I like to do firsthand experience. I'm not really the type that likes to talk about things that I'm not experiencing or doing. I like to leave it up to people who have had that experience as much as possible. But yes, now with that being said, I would say that there's many things you could do before you jump to that conclusion. Um, 4 days of fasting isn't really enough information or data to really say. If you did not prep before you actually did your fast, that could be part of the reason why. If if you've been doing regular fasting and your body is for whatever reason going through a shrink week or a shrink period, that could be part of it. Even if you just started fasting, you could start fasting and go through a shrink period. It just depends. There's so many different factors to determine why this might be happening. If you fast for 10 days and you don't lose any weight, then there may be something going on. But you want to make sure that you prep first. Okay, always prep. And there's other things you could do. Sometimes it's not emotional blockages. Sometimes there's physical blockages. This is why earlier when I was talking about the prep, but I also have added like the restore to the prep in addition to everything else. It's because what I'm looking to do is refine the process in such a way that we eliminate 90 to 95% of issues that people might run into. That's my goal. The more I learn, I want to eliminate as much as I can so that when I give people a regimen, it's really optimized, you know? So by making sure to open up your elimination pathways before you start fasting, that will also help you mitigate this sort of thing. But at the end of the day, let's say that it's not emotional trauma. Let's say it's not energetic trauma. Let's say you just did the fast, you did your prepping, you did everything right, and you did a 4-day fast. You didn't lose weight. That happens. And sometimes it's because you're not ready to release weight. As a matter of fact, when you like, if you guys are familiar with my fasting shrink week, and what I talk about is it's a 7-day period of time where you don't lose weight. And the reason why you don't lose weight is because the body is doing other work. And usually it's shrinking and tightening the skin, autophagy, it's recycling dead cells, mutated cells, and things of that nature. And it would not behoove you to be dropping weight at that time. But usually, when you come off of that period of not losing weight, you will see the weight start to come back off. This is one of the major reasons why people who follow our regimen, they don't have loose skin. This is the reason why. So hopefully that helps you. I know a lot of people freak out when they start going through this with the weight not dropping off. Fasting's already, a challenge, and now you're telling me that I'm fasting and I'm not losing weight. I know it gets difficult, but it could literally be due to shrink week or something of that nature. Okay, so let's find another question. Can someone describe rolling 72 versus a water fast? So I don't know. I'm assuming you were asking for somebody in the chat, but I didn't really look to see if anybody like actually responded. So you can so R72 is a cycle. That's all it is. That's what R72 is. Now, when we do the R72 program, we're going to be doing a water fasting cycle, but you can actually do the R72 with juice or even mono fasting if you want to. You know what I mean? So the R72 is just a rolling fasting cycle. You're going to choose X amount of days to do some form of fasting, okay? And then you're going to have a break. You're going to eat, you're going to refeed, and you're going to go right back into fasting. So that's what it is. Now, what you don't do is you do not do rolling intermittent fasting. It's probably not going to be very beneficial. You're diluting the process a little bit too much. Now, if you were going to do a rolling fast and use intermittent fasting, if your dietary strategy for the intermittent fasting was very tight, then yes, you could still see benefit for sure. Yeah, 100%. I just don't like to teach stuff like that because people hear it the wrong way. They don't get all the details, and then they wonder why they're not getting results. So water fasting is obviously just, fasting on water. You might do it for 3 days. You might do it for 4 days. The big difference is when you break the fast, you're going to do a full refeed instead of just that 1 day of refeeding, or even a 2 day of refeeding. And then, you're going to go on about your business. So that's the difference. It's just a cycle of fasting versus a more structured fast where you're just going to fast for X amount of days and then you're going to refeed and stop. When do we start? So I'm assuming that you're talking about the R72. The R72 starts January 1st. Registration starts today. Links in the chat. Just going through, trying to grab these questions. Which distilled water do I buy? Doesn't matter. It does not matter. You can buy any distilled water that you want. You just want to make sure that it's distilled water. Now, there are some distilled waters that aren't food grade because of how they distill it. Sometimes if you get certain battery waters, which are distilled waters, sometimes they use a different process. So let me just say this. You want a steam distilled water, okay? The process of distillation needs to be by way of steam. That's what you're looking for. Steam distillation. It doesn't matter what brand as long as it's steam distilled. Want to do rolling 72, can't get past day 1. What does it mean? It means you need to join the R72 challenge. I'm not even going to hold you. Join the challenge so that we can get you over that hump. Sometimes when I try to go without food as a diabetic, my body does a dry heave for food. Do you have any advice for me? Sure, we've got tons of advice. There's lots of advice. Um, there's many different ways that you can approach this. Uh, on this call, with this minimal amount of time, what I'm going to suggest is instead of jumping into fasting, you just simply start with dietary change first. It'll be the easiest, kind of safest way to approach it without too much the shaking stuff, man. I know it's scary. So what you want to do is focus heavy on eating plant-based. If you're going to eat meat, that's okay. But there's a couple things I'm going to say. Number one, you got to stop eating fast food and stuff like that. That should be automatic. If you're a diabetic and you're going to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, yeah, I said Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, etc., and you're looking to reverse your disease, these two things they don't go together. Okay, you're working, you're hustling backwards, as they used to say. You need to be cooking at home. You need home cooked meals made from whole foods. All right. I would suggest that the majority of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. If you're scared of fruit because of the sugar content, I'm going to tell you don't be scared of fruit because natural fruit is metabolized and absorbed in this body different from like a candy bar. But what I'm going to tell you is minimize the amount of meat that you're taking in. Okay, eat a higher quality of meat. Eliminate dairy because it's not going to benefit you at all. So get away from the cheese, cream, and all that stuff. Drink more water, even if just drinking water exclusively, and um, maintain a regimen like that. You can add essential oils to your regimen. All right. So let's not forget about the essential oils. This is the lifeblood of a plant. This is a herb. I believe the one you're going to want is cinnamon. Okay, that's off the top of my head. I believe it's cinnamon. But it's pretty easy to do research on that and find out more. I've probably talked about it many times, but um, it's either cinnamon or marjoram, mordrum. I don't even know how to say that word. I always say it wrong. You can take those in your water, and that'll help to reduce your diabetic condition. And I would start with that. Oh, and also you could get yourself some of the root products. You could get yourself clean slate from root. That will help tremendously because you have to eliminate. People think that when they're diabetic, there's something wrong with them. It's not anything wrong with you. There's something in your system that's irritating your system. And that's a very super simplistic way of putting it. But depending on how this contaminant is irritating your system, it causes functions to shut down. It causes the brain not to send signals properly. But it really boils down to contamination in the body. Typically, this contamination, if you're talking about type 2 diabetes, comes from the food we eat. Okay. With type 1 diabetes, it can come from vaccines. It could come from um, uh, different products and medicines we take. It also can come from lifestyle, but typically we'll see it'll be passed on from a parent. You know, so that's why they believe that it's genetic. It's not. It's still a contamination, but you can be contaminated in the womb as you're being formed as well. People don't think about that, but all these things can be reversed. Raw food is amazing for diabetics. It's absolutely amazing. I don't. If I was a diabetic, I would eat raw food. I would drink exclusively water and fresh juice. I personally would eat a lot of fruit because I know the benefit of it. And anybody that I talk to in my friend circle, my family that's a diabetic, I always tell them eat raw fruit. You know. Now that's not to say that all raw fruit's going to be great for you. Some raw fruit might still give you a weird reaction. Grapes tend to be a little bit too much sugar, but a lot of these foods are artificially developed and grown. So the other piece is you want to be leaning into non-GMO foods, not even just non-GMO. You don't even want hybridized foods. And this is why Dr. Sebi was so successful at what he did because he taught that you do not eat GMO or hybridized foods. And if you do this, then you can put out information that works for 99% of people. But the problem is it's difficult for people to find those foods. So we put together a food guide to help you guys. You can still find it. right? The Dr. Sebi food guide. So if you're a diabetic, get on the Dr. Sebi food guide. Everything on there will be okay for you to eat. You know what I mean? If anything on there doesn't resonate with you, don't eat it. Or you might just need to find a better quality version of that thing. Anyway, that's a lot of information. Join the R72 challenge. That's going to be my final answer. Join the R72 challenge. That's the answer for tonight. All right. Keep it real with y'all. Okay. What's the video that I talked about with Steve? Let me see if I can find it for y'all real quick. Let me see if I could grab it. So basically, this video Steven and I did back in 2000 and it was either 2000, I think it might have been 2017 or 18. So it's really old. It's in our Inspiring Interactions playlist on YouTube. And y'all should probably check these playlists out because we have, make it really easy to find content if you look at these playlists. Y'all be hurting my feelings not looking at and using my playlists. But I know people don't use playlists in general, so. But I'm going to just grab this real quick because I'm a gentleman and a scholar. All right, so I'm going to give you guys 2 videos for Steven. Pay attention because I don't want you to get confused. The first video I'm going to give you is the first video we ever did for Steven. Okay? It's the absolute first video he ever did. So you guys are going to be able to see Steven at virtually his biggest. So this is the first video that I'm putting in this chat. For those who are watching after the fact, check the live chat on YouTube, and you'll be able to see this content that I'm putting in the chat because I got comments about that last time. People were confused, but it's in the live chat, okay? Now, the second video that I'm putting in here is the one that I was just mentioning. This was after this first video, after Steve had lost an enormous amount of weight. It's called I Lost 132 Pounds in 10-Month Water Fasting Experience. Very detailed. Steven spills all diabetic health. Okay, it's a super long title. But that's why I'm just going to give it to you. Make it real easy for you. Steve looks incredible. And Steve's going to come back for an interview soon, actually. So I know y'all have been wanting to get an interview from him for a while. So check those 2 videos out. These videos are life-changing. All right, we got a super chat. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to get ready to be about to get ready to go. I've done, let me see. Let me put this thing. Let me see if I can put this on real quick. All right, Rodney, I've done fasting before and had black coffee. I still lose weight. What are your thoughts on black coffee? What about brown coffee? What about white coffee? Why gotta be black coffee? It's a joke, folks. It's a joke. So here's my thing about coffee. Okay, so first of all, I want you to understand that yes, what you're saying is true. You can certainly have coffee and lose weight. Understand that when I very first started teaching fasting, I did not teach coffee and fasting because the focus of AHA was never weight loss. Recently, I've been focusing more on weight loss because you guys control the content and you guys want to know about weight loss. So I've altered my content begrudgingly. But for optimal health, you don't want to be using coffee on your fast. But yes, you will still lose weight. People like using coffee on their fast because it's a appetite suppressant. A lot of people can have their morning coffee and fast, even though that's not what they intended to do, but fast till late in the evening without thinking about it because it's an appetite suppressant. Also, there's a habitual thing, right? With drinking coffee, people get addicted to it, the caffeine. Also, I will say that when you take coffee, you don't go through caffeine withdrawals, which a lot of people experience because we got to remember that caffeine is one of the most abused drugs in the nation, in United States, probably in the world. because it's just so acceptable to drink coffee. Nobody thinks about the caffeine in coffee, really. I mean, people think about it, but not really. We still drink it at alarming rates. So I don't like it for health. I don't like it health. Now, depending on where you live and depending on where you source your coffee, I mean, quality matters. Quality really matters. A lot of the stuff that I tell y'all not to do and not to eat and not to take, it's not because within itself it's innately bad. It's because the quality isn't there, right? When I tell y'all don't eat meat and dairy products, it's not because we like our grandparents were eating it and dying, because we know that they weren't. You know, they were able to eat meat and dairy products and they were fine. But why do I tell y'all not to eat it? It's because of the quality that you get nowadays. And because the quality is so bad, it's poisonous. I always tell y'all just stay away from it. If you get high quality products, you can ingest more of this stuff without it having a big impact. So I'm going to tell you lay off the coffee when you do your fasting for optimal benefits. If you want to do it because you just need, if you feel like you want to, I mean, I don't know your reasoning why, but I would say just source really high quality stuff. And I don't drink coffee, so I can't give you an example of that. However, um, one of our affiliate partners may be coming out with a coffee, and we'll see. We'll take a look at it. But there is a alternative that I created for coffee, which is cacao powder. All right, so you want to get a nice raw cacao powder. You want to boil some water. You put like a tablespoon of cacao powder in a 12-ounce mug with some hot, boiling water, and then you can, put like cinnamon or something in there if you want. If you're fasting, you could just do it like that. Or if you want to do, if you want to sweeten it, you could put a little agave in there. And we when we did our wellness retreat earlier this year, we gave that out to people and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. We did an almond milk in there too, or a nut milk when we did it. So yeah, you can still lose weight drinking coffee. So I mean, if that's what y'all want, listen. When we do the R72 program, we're going to allow you all, we're going to give you guys, it's going to be a different type of program, okay? It's going to be very easy for entry level participants. It's going to be great for those of you who have fallen off the wagon, and it's going to be great for those who are in between challenges, right? You want to do the 21-day challenge, the R72 is something you could do in between. All right, we got another super chat. Let's see here. Lynette from B-More. Is that Baltimore? Baltimore in the building. Hey, Chris, can you exercise while you are fasting? Good question. So I usually recommend that you become acclimated to fasting before you do any intense exercise. If you're going to be doing light exercise, if you're going to be doing resistance exercise, you could do it, but still keep it light. I like yoga for fasting, and things of that nature. I'm not a big fan of promoting heavy lifting or anything of that nature while you're fasting, especially when you're new. Now, if your body is used to fasting, if you're acclimated to fasting, you can do whatever you want, honestly. But when you're new, or when you're really still detoxing heavy, when you're still having heavy, getting lightheaded and being really sleepy, or whatever the case is, you don't want to be doing a lot of exercising. Now, the great thing is on the R72 program, you can work out as much as you want. If you're interested in any type of bodybuilding or sculpting, you regularly go to the gym, then yeah, the R72 program is going to be great for you because it's going to allow you to push beyond your traditional intermittent fasting, but in a safe manner, and you could still be productive. If you work with heavy equipment, for example, or if you're a truck driver, or you're a police officer. If you have a job that is a strenuous job, like mentally strenuous, or you need a certain level of concentration, the R72 is going to be a great program for you guys because it doesn't push you too far. And of course, as I've been mentioning, we have so many tools to really just make this easy. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This is 7 years of personal development and research, a combined 20 years of research that goes into building out the R72 program. When you look at our team, um, it's going to be incredible. I'm really excited about you all joining. The biggest reason why I'm so excited about this challenge is the level of interest. Listen, our challenges are always great, but the level of interest, we had over 1,000 people register for this thing in 2 days. That's insane. We've never seen anything like that. I'm just excited about the energy. If you guys have never been in one of our challenges, the energy that comes along with it is off the charts, and it's very motivating. We talked about motivation earlier, but it's like this amazing, sustainable energy that you get throughout the challenge because people are constantly posting, and it's electric in there. So let's see. What about this new mushroom coffee? Have you heard of it? The mushroom coffee, is that mud? I think that might be what you're talking about, mud, or it's probably something like that. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about it. It does sound better than coffee at first glance. Here's what you know what I like? I like teaching you all how to fish versus giving you a fish. So what I'm going to say is when you're vetting a new product, you want to look at raw materials. What are the raw materials they're using to make this product, right? Look at all the raw materials. Then you want to look at the uh, potency of these materials, the purity of these materials, right? Like, how potent and how pure are these materials? Those are two very important things. Because if you just look at what they're putting in it, you're like, oh, this is good, that's good, da 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 da. But you also got to remember, a lot of times there's ingredients in products that aren't actually on the package. You know what I'm saying? So you want to look at the potency, the purity, and then we got a spammer. Hold on. All right. What else? After that, you got to test for yourself a lot of times. You could look at comments and stuff like that. That's always good. Reviews, if stuff's just crap, the reviews will let you know ahead of time. But you have to test for yourself. So try it and be intentional. Pay attention, and then journal. Put it in your journal and make sure that you are documenting what you're experiencing so that you can have like data and you can determine whether or not something's good for you. That's how, listen, I need y'all to understand this. This is how AHA was built. All the information, I would say like 85% of information you get from AHA is homegrown, meaning it was through personal experimentation or first accounts. I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't do a ton of research outside of my own personal experience. I don't read a ton of books. I don't look at a whole bunch of people's content. A lot of it is um, observation. It's anecdotal evidence. It's an anecdotal evidence has got a bad rap, but guess what? When you build something on anecdotal evidence, it tends to be duplicatable and it tends to work in real life and it helps people get outcomes. And so if you guys use that method of personal experimentation, right? Take things into your own hands and document and be intentional about it, you'll get better outcomes in life. And you don't have to ask people. You guys can ask me because that's what I'm here for. But I'm just saying, if you understand things better at a core level, when somebody is telling you XYZ, you'll know, oh, that's bull. Like, that's not right. Because you understand fundamental principles. I mean, listen, I'm not perfect. I do my best to disseminate information in a way that's easily digestible and as accurate as possible. But there's things that I'll be wrong about from time to time. You know what I mean? So We have to take personal accountability. All right, we're gonna do this last one because it's a super chat. The super chats. Desiree. Your name, every time I see it, it throws me off. Ah. With the R72, does the body go back to day 1 of the fast, or does it continue back at day 4 of fasting? How do you maintain the first 3 days? So here's the thing. When it comes to fasting, here's what you can't do. You cannot stack fasting. So you can't do, let's say, okay, my goal right now is a 10-day fast, right? What I can't do is say I'm gonna break that up into 3 day fasts, or 2 3 days and a 4 day. And that is equivalent to 10 days of fasting. It's not equivalent. All right. So that's the first point that I want to make. It's not equivalent. That doesn't mean that it's not beneficial. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have its place. It's just not equivalent. It's not the same. It's not the same. When you take a break, you take your day break or whatever, it does have an impact on your fast. Do you go back to day 1? I wouldn't say you're going back to day 1. Okay, you're not going back to square 1. The R72 is designed. Okay, remember the full name of the challenge is called the R72 Weight Loss Challenge. This is one of the reasons why I put the weight loss in there, because the R72 challenge is going to help you do that in spades. Most people, that's what they're looking for. Obviously, when you fast, you're going to get other benefits. But if you want to get certain benefits of fasting, you're not going to get it with the 3-day fast. Come along with fasting require a certain level of commitment, and it's kind of like the laws of equivalent exchange, and there's no way to really beat that. We can get close. We've come up with some pretty phenomenal regimens, and we've got some pretty phenomenal tools. We can help y'all get some crazy outcomes, most of what you're looking for with the shorter fast, with the right regimen. But they're not equivalent. And I think that's your question. I think that's ultimately what you're looking to know. But I wouldn't promote it if it wasn't going to be massively beneficial, and people weren't going to see success, because at the end of the day, that's my name, right? If I promote the R72 and we got, let's say it's 2,000 people in there, and people are like, bro, it didn't work. I didn't get any benefit. That looks bad for me. So trust me, y'all are going to get some crazy benefit from it, but it's not equivalent. It's not the same. Hopefully that answers your question. It doesn't take you back to day 1, no, but it also doesn't start you off at day 4. Okay. It's not, it's, let's just say it puts you back at day 2. How about that? All right. That's all I got, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to throw the link to register for the challenge. I'm going to throw it in the chat one more time for you. I'm going to throw my Cash App and stuff in there too. If you guys want to donate, this is something new for me. This is different. You know what I mean? I've been preparing for this for the past probably 8 months mentally, to be doing these live streams, because y'all know I don't live stream, 2-3 times a week. That's not my thing. So I've shifted my schedule around. I've made room to do this. And I wanted to do this because I think that you all will get a massive benefit from being able to kind of go through this process with me, interact with me more frequently, and things of that nature. So you guys want to donate to the cause? I'm gonna throw my Cash App as well, my PayPal donation link in there, and you guys can donate if you want. And depending on the reaction we get from these first few videos, as I start getting into fasting, you guys keep showing up, asking questions like this, then I'll do more. I'll keep doing more. I'll do more days. And you don't got to worry. I'm not going to fast myself to 145 pounds again, but I probably will have a cutoff, where I'll stop fasting. My weight gets to a certain place. We'll talk about that as things develop. But I got a good. I put on a good 20 pounds for y'all so I could do this challenge. I need y'all to understand. Like, I've been preparing for this for months. Ask any of the coaches. Well, not all of them. Steve and Shell know. Mel might know. Jasmine probably doesn't know. But I literally planned this like at the beginning of the year. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna do this fast and I'm gonna do this, then I need to put on some weight, because if I don't put on weight, then I'm gonna get too small, and I'm not gonna want to be that small. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate it. The deadline to join the R72 challenge is well, I have to double check, but it starts on January 1st. I don't want to lie to y'all. I got to double check the deadline, but you have plenty of time to register. This is one of the reasons why we started it early. Grab your quick start guide, grab your free digital copy of Almost Alkaline, our cookbook. By the way, y'all, the cookbook will be sent out later on in December. It's not going to be sent out if you buy it today. Okay. I just want y'all to know that. But yeah, join us. And thank you for joining the live stream. And I will see you all on day 1 of the fast. All right. Peace.